Yeah, I do want to ask you about that story. So, you told me a long time ago, Luke, that you were once an apprentice chef.
Yep.
That was a really interesting story that you told me about that.
So this would have been, at my last job that I had as a cook, chef.
So this is before you got into the mining industry, right?
This is before boilermaking and then mining.
Before,
yeah. So
yeah.
I was a kid. I was probably like 17 doing this. And, real busy service. Pretty much it's coming down to a close. It's winding down. I did the cold larder section, which is the entrees.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm in the clear.
Yeah.
It's just mains going out. No worries.
Yeah.
Cleaning down at the end of the day, kind of thing.
Cleaning down, putting all my prep away.
And the shift, like everything's like you're looking forward to go home and shit, right?
Oh, well, being the apprentice, you're looking forward to scrubbing the floors, scrubbing everywhere,
fair enough,
taking the bins out, doing the veg order. So I'm trying to get ahead and get a little inch ahead so I can do all the rest of my shit I got to do. And then they seat another 2 people at 15 minutes past service, so service is closed.
Yeah.
They sit another table down. Yeah, no worries. Okay, we're here to make money. And they decide to order 2 taste plates, which is my whole entire section, which I've just put away. Okay. So I guess my first port of call was to get the foam gun with the vine charred potato espuma in it, which
what
is
the fuck is that?
A tasty little side dish. Get the foam gun out, double charge it, make sure she's fresh with the nitrous oxide.
Yep.
And the
old cream whip canisters.
Yep. And shake the espuma to the bottom. Look at my chef and inhale 2 nangs.
It's so funny, man.
And then I basically come out of my splendid dream, and I'm halfway through doing 2 taste plates. So.
There it is. I think we got it.
Yeah,
that's good. All right, sick.
Yeah, I'm glad you told that on the pod. That's fucking funny as shit.
The professional layman's.
Welcome to the Professional Layman's Podcast, TPL Podcast, the show where we tell you everything about what you need to know about that you didn't know about.
Yeah,
thank you very much. I actually got it out of my fucking mouth this time.
That's what's up.
Joining me, I'm Bert Kilder. I fucked up there. Joining me.
It's your boy Jesse.
It is your boy Jesse. How you going, man?
Yeah, good. Fucking good, man.
Pretty decent.
Haven't been better. Lockdown's over.
Lockdown is over.
What,
20 minutes ago or something like that?
52 minutes ago.
52 minutes ago. Yeah. For everyone who doesn't know, actually, I don't know how you couldn't be aware of this because everyone in the world has literally been making fun of us for the past week.
Yeah.
From varying sides from the aisle, right? So there's a group of the international community that are praising us because we locked down after 1 case, hard lockdown after 1 case. Masks, no personal contact,
no canoodling,
none of that bullshit, man. Like straight out fucking hard lockdown, hard dick, fucking soft sack.
Yeah,
we're done. Lockdown, done. Right? That was about 5 days ago. There's another part of the international community, however, that's taking the piss out of us because
1 case.
We locked down over 1 case.
And we're also on fire as well.
We are on fire. In fact, do you know?
82 houses.
Yeah, 82 houses was the number. We about yesterday or a couple of days ago?
No, that was today. 82 houses.
Man, they're
hoping
brutal.
The rain's going to come through and squash it.
Well, we've got a low down coming up from up north, so hopefully that can help us out a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It was the weirdest feeling. It didn't remind me of California during their bushfires because their sky was fucking red. And that's pretty cool, but
there was ash falling from the sky in the middle of our city.
Yeah, and it was a bit on the weird side, you know, a bit on the what's it called surreal. That's the word I'm looking for. Surreal. Yeah. Usually joining us is the editor. However, he's had a very busy week, as have all of us, because honestly, this lockdown is driven literally everyone who's considered an essential worker into the ground, myself included. It's been bit of a bullshit week. Been working my ass off. Ed's been working his ass off, so we really don't blame him for not joining us tonight. He needs his quality.
He needs his R&R.
Needs his
to have
R&R.
him well rested. And you know what?
Exactly.
He doesn't always have to be here unless our listeners nag him enough. Then
Exactly.
he does have to be here all
Exactly.
the time.
I mean, all he does is edit in the end anyway.
Yeah.
So which is why he's the editor.
But he's fucking good at it, and there's no one else for the job.
That's exactly right. And yeah, Ed.
But we do
Mm.
have someone else with us today.
We do have someone else with us today. So, ladies and gentlemen, a format of the show, the format of the show so far has been for us, like I conveniently and professionally said in the beginning of the show, we tell you everything about what you know that you didn't know, right? And a big part of that is bringing in certain things, that we like to explain to you, certain things you don't know about, right? Well, myself and Jesse, we're not exactly the expert in everything that is available information-wise, right? Sometimes we need a little bit of help, which is why in episode 3 we got a plumber in to tell us about plumbing.
We had very good feedback on that episode.
Yeah, and
we decided that we can't hold off any longer.
No, we need to do it again. So the secondary format of the show is one we're going to be practicing tonight. We are bringing in another layman, the second layman of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Luke, the underground miner. How you going, man?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, pretty good?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, how's that underground mining going?
Oh, I gotta say, it's gone pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Well,
Right.
I want to say thanks for coming in.
Thanks
Much
for coming in, man.
appreciated.
Yeah.
No problem.
We want to get inside the mind of an underground miner because 80% of Australia has no idea about mining.
Exactly.
And then, there's only 4 or 5 maybe roughly percent of miners that actually work underground.
And that's the thing. There's a lot of things about mining in Australia that people, because there's a lot of mining in Australia, obviously, right? So, what are the different
We dig
aspects
up
of
our
mining?
dirt and we fucking sell it to other countries.
China.
That's
China. You beat me to it. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, I think we're the second or third most lithium producer in the world. Yeah,
boy.
yeah. Like all our iron ore, we give it to the Chinese. They just send us back cars, man. It's a good tit for tat.
Yeah.
Except I don't know if it's actually good for us. But
I don't think it is.
no, it's not. No, not in the long run. No. Bit of an unfair deal there, dog.
But hey, while it's there, why not grab it?
Why not grab it? And obviously there's a lot of other things, but we have to get into the ground to get them out of the ground, right?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. It's like one of the things I wanted to ask you, Luke, when we first decided we were going to do this thing, is because we did the same thing with Samwise, right?
Mm.
So Samwise comes in and he says he's a plumber, right? But we don't want to listen to how he got his degree or the kind of the kind of
we want to jump straight over
technical know-how. We want to jump off straight over the boring shit. We want to get into the interesting shit, right? Have you ever set off an explosion, Luke?
Yes.
Fuck yeah. Alright, there we go. Getting into the good shit. Alright, so, I mean, explosion-wise, right? So, I take it you're not exactly are you the profession that deals with setting up the explosions, or is there an actual explosions expert that does this for you?
Yes, absolutely. So, first of all, everything's on-site based, so there is no professionals. It's like, do you have experience?
Right.
Have you got a few tickets?
Okay.
You got to still get any tickets
How do
everywhere
you
you go.
So you get an explosives ticket?
You got to get a police clearance,
Right.
and then you just go on site, show them your police clearance, and they start
teaching you how to blow shit up.
Yeah, you do a very basic multiple choice quiz that literally anyone can pass, and then you start wiring up explosives, and yeah.
What was the quiz like?
It was like, when you exit the vehicle, what are 3 things you must do? And there's like 4 answers. And it's like, isolate, turn off engine, put jack legs down. And then the 4th is obviously like, just leave it running if you're only leaving the vehicle for 5 minutes.
So the explosions
so they
checklist
just want people to pass, basically.
It's basically a take 5, right? Like take 5 minutes or so.
If you get the question wrong,
check the hazard.
It gives you infinite chances to redo it until you get it right.
Oh, right. Okay.
So
I suppose failure
so
is...
if you paid for the ticket, it's yours, like no matter how dumb you are.
Yeah, well, they pay you to get the ticket.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, you can't lose.
So How do you go about, like, what's the process involved in blowing shit up underground?
Because that's the thing, the way I imagine it is that, like, and by the way, I have to say, the fact that you only need a criminal, like, I was going to make fun of the fact that you need a criminal check, a background check,
Yeah.
to actually do this, but then I thought about it, I'm like, man, that's probably a smart idea. But at the same time, really?
It's
Like,
probably more so they don't
how many
just blow themselves up.
No, but how many criminals deal with bombs, though? Like,
You think they'd be better at it?
well, that's the thing, right? Like, you know, they'd be better at it, so why wouldn't you want to get the criminal to do it? You know, he swears that he's fucking good for life, right? You know, he's on bail, he's got a wife and shit that he needs to look after, even though he got in prison when he was looking after that same wife, but, you know. But, yeah, the fact that it's only, like, a police clearance and a simple take 5 test,
that's pretty incredible.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's only 1% of it. The main thing is, can you handle it? That's all mining. It's not hard to get the ticket, it's can you actually do the job. And if you can't, they'll just throw you out.
Well, and that's the thing, because mining, especially, and this is, I mean, mining anywhere in the world is you know, is a pretty profitable endeavour. But in Australia, particularly Western Australia, for any of our international listeners, mining is one of those things that people migrate to the country to work in.
Yeah.
And it could literally be as simple as someone who just digs a fucking ditch for a living. They'll be on 90k a year, or Australian dollars a year.
Yeah.
Right? Or they'll get paid $60 an hour. Either, man, people get paid out of the fucking ass to work in the mines. And that's another surprise that I have, is that, because one of the things that I know about traditional mining practice is that they're very safe about things. Like, the level of safety, I mean, maybe you can touch on this, but it's like...
The safety is a facade.
It's a facade.
It's something that, yeah, you're in the pre-start meeting, everything gets said, everything's all good, sweet, we all go to our jobs, and we kind of do what we have to get the job done.
And okay, so
do
you have any,
safe.
like, examples of that, of it being a facade, being, you know, like, I don't know, setting up for something and someone's like, nah, fucking mate, you know, we're going to bust it.
So we just got a new bloke in charge, the general manager. And
new GM.
Yep, and he's brought in, he's come in with a spreadsheet in the meeting.
Oh, so they want to change things to the way that they want things to be run, right? That's what they always want to do.
His idea is he's come in with a spreadsheet of 7 different pairs of gloves. There's different of varying impact protection.
Varying impact.
Everyone has to have one pair.
Do they have
one pair of each hanging off?
You are not allowed to exit the vehicle without having gloves on.
What, do they have, like, classes?
True, okay.
Like, this is like class 1 to 7?
Yeah, yep. So the first one is like just normal chemical gloves, and then you get like dynamic gloves, then you get dynamic gloves with a bit of shock impact, then you get like mechanic gloves, mechanic shock impact, and then you get like welding gloves. And there's certain jobs you have to be wearing these specific gloves to do.
Mm.
Do you think that happens, or?
How would you keep track of 7 pairs of gloves?
Well, it's to do, you know, if you do certain jobs, you're supposed to be wearing those certain gloves.
That's the thing. Do you have like a carabiner on your belt waist, like with 7 different pairs of gloves on it? Like, was it all spread apart?
Whatever gloves you feel like.
Yeah.
And yes, there is carabiners to like.
That's what I'm thinking in my head. It's like your super, right? Your supervisor. He's like, he'll come past every now and then, right, and just see what gloves you're wearing.
The supervisor is a miner. These people in the office making the rules, telling the rules, they're not miners.
They're not miners.
They don't actually understand what has to happen.
And that's the real disconnect, isn't it? Like, that's the real disconnect between...
You got 2 worlds, basically.
Oh, let me back up a little bit. I don't want to say that these people don't know what's going on, because these engineers design the mine. They make the decisions that actually, where we make money, we're profitable. Like, hats off to them. They do an important job.
But you guys are in the trenches, and it's only
they will never know how things are done.
Well, no, because I mean, they're engineers though. This is a common complaint that I get from a lot of tradesmen, by the way, especially ones that work in industrial sectors, because they seem to hate engineers, because engineers, they come out of university, and
they land a sick job.
And that's the thing.
Maths.
They don't even necessarily need to be up themselves, but it's one of those things that I've heard, and maybe, I don't know what your experience with engineers is, but from the idea that I get, when you work with an engineer in an industrial field like mining especially, right, very competitive field, they tend to be people that think that because they're running a sort of, you know, upper echelon of knowledge, like regarding your work that you don't know about, that they're more valued than you are.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know, like I think
But
that.
I mean, however long at uni, I mean, it's going to make you feel kind of like that, isn't it?
Sure,
When
I
you see
mean,
a heap of grubby dudes.
when
can
you're
see both
60k
sides
in
of the
debt, I
story.
mean, when you need
Yeah.
an outlet.
Yeah,
for that,
right.
You know. But again, it's one of those things where I get the perception where these engineers, they come into these mine sites
Yeah.
and they start thinking, because they've done the math and all the study and everything that they need to do.
But then
These
again,
people that
without
work
both
underneath.
sides, you would never have the job in the first place. Right?
Exactly. And by the way, I always valued the value of a job is literally what you get paid for it.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, sure, you can get an engineer that's getting fucking 150k a year or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Which is,
Bump
by the
that
way,
up.
yeah, sorry?
Bump that up.
Bump that
Yeah.
one. Oh, yeah, okay. A little bit more than that,
Yeah.
right? Okay, yeah.
I want to go back to explosives.
Yes,
I
yeah.
think everyone does.
No,
Yeah.
worries.
Can you give us a run through of the process? I mean, I'm sure you don't just go, all right, boys, time for a new hole, fucking boom,
Yeah. Quick disclaimer: I'm not a shot firer. I've done training with charge up. I've done a bit of work with charge up. I know how to charge, but
Yeah.
I'm by no means that's not my job. I'm not a shot firer, or I'm not on charge up.
Yeah.
I'm on pace fill. But yeah, as far as
Sorry, what's Baseful?
pace fill is, so they do stopes.
Right.
They that's how they get the ore. They do tunnels. They do stopes, which are big holes in the ground. They truck all that ore out, send it off, and we need to backfill that void. Otherwise,
Yeah, okay.
the pressure will accumulate. It'll start crumbling. All the ground will go to shit.
Right,
Oh,
okay.
So all we do is run a big garden hose in and just pour cement in.
Yeah, okay.
So that's it's pretty basic.
But I mean, it's one of those things.
How
It's
much
like,
cement though, man?
yeah, like how much
A
cement?
typical stope that we do would be maybe 3,000 cubes, but they can be up to like 7,000 cubes.
Jesus,
Right.
man, that's
And is that just like filling a cavity that's like a weaker part of whatever you don't want to blow up, or
No.
what's that?
Well, okay,
doing?
so we go in, we dig a big tunnel into the ore body,
Yeah.
and then we send a drill rig in. He drills rings, which are basically just sets of holes about 30 metres long. He'll drill those for a panel, it's usually about 30 metres back.
So those
Yeah.
holes are for like the gases and shit to release when the explosive goes off?
No. So the holes are what we charge. So
Oh,
drill
true,
holes
true.
of like
Okay.
50 mil diameter.
How many of them do they do? Like in a row?
So it'll be 30 metres, maybe 30 rings, let's just say, and the ring will go around the tunnel, and each hole's about 30 metres. They charge that, they blow that up.
Yeah.
That's all the ore falls out into the tunnel.
Oh, okay, right.
Dude.
So
And
that's
then
how they actually. Okay, so in my head, when I thought of like how they actually do explosive like prospecting, right?
Yeah.
In my head, I was always thinking that they just like they use a fucking instrument and they're like, oh yeah, there's some fucking nickel here, there's some fucking
It is kind of like
some
that.
iron here, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
we have
taps
geos.
the rock and then
Yep.
taps his glasses, pushes up in the middle ends, just like, boys, I think we got some ore, right?
I imagine fucking drones just hovering
So-
over, like probing the ground, nothing
with
there.
heat signatures and shit.
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Like a
And then-
Roomba,
Yeah.
like a Roomba vacuum, just comes down the
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I thought.
That's just like an army of Roombas across the desert.
But that's what I always thought. I always thought the whole detonations field was just like, here's a thing we need you to blow up, like a part of a rock. But that makes it a bit more. I always thought it'd be a bit more complicated than that.
Yeah,
But that
so
makes
they
it a
drill
bit more
holes,
complicated.
They
Yeah.
pack them, and then what? Everyone just sits back and they fire it.
So there's a tag board. To
Mm.
go underground, you got a tag on. You got to lock on with like a name tag.
Yeah.
At the end of the shift, obviously everyone comes up, has a shower, tag off. They then close the tag board, lock it. There's a whole procedure for safety and stuff. And then,
So you're locked in.
well, they make sure everyone's locked off, not on underground.
What was that?
That
You
was
can't
me.
ignore
That was me hitting
Jesus
my fucking
Christ.
microphone with the beer.
Titanic hitting an iceberg.
Jesus
Yeah, man.
Christ, cunt.
Just tape it
Excuse
to your
me.
hand, mate.
Excuse me.
Continue.
I happen to be the only one drinking tonight, so all the blame goes on.
No, fucking Layman's got a couple.
Oh yeah, no,
I've
Layman's
had
got a
1.5
couple.
exports.
Like the best kind of export.
Yeah.
Exactly.
EMEA export. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Continue, Luke. Sorry.
It's basically just everyone's locked off. They try to always fire when everyone's not underground during the shift change. They fire, and then Yeah,
Oh, so they actually fucking
So they wait till everyone changes
they
shifts.
evacuate the mine.
they actually min-max it though, so it's in between like shift changes.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah,
some of these
wow.
stopes are like 7 ton of explosives.
Right. Yeah.
You feel
Well, I
it.
mean, yeah.
How far away do you reckon you'd feel it?
Well, we stand at the bus. We're probably a K away from the portal of the mine, and the mine where they're firing could be a K and a half underground, and you still feel it rumbling under your feet.
Really.
If they're firing
That's
stopes.
So there's a pretty big distance in between. I mean, obviously there's a pretty big, but like, how far away is the guy who's like doing the old fucking,
Yeah, do they use wires?
cliche like pump down into the fucking TNT
A
box?
TNT box? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like,
imagine just someone with a battery.
yeah, but
Well,
hooks it up to the nipples.
The first time I ever fired a shot with a stinger was probably not quite right, but we felt safe. So we charged this heading. It's just a development heading, not a stope, just a smaller heading, probably a half-ton charge. We come out, we run the bell wire. You hook in the loop, run the bell wire,
Yep.
come out to where you feel you're safe, make sure no one's in the area, and then the shot charger hands me the stinger. I hook it in, and he goes.
What's the stinger?
The stinger is basically just a handheld battery thing. It sends an electrical signal to the det, and that's what
Right.
sets off.
Oh, that's the cool.
cool.
Like that's out of fucking Speed.
Yeah.
Fucking what's his name?
Yeah.
Dennis Rod. Not Dennis. Fucking
Speed?
Rodman. No, who's the bad guy out of Speed?
Oh, I can't remember.
It's got Keanu
I'm
Reeves in
terrible with names, eh? Terrible
Fuck.
with
I
the only one I really care about is Marky Mark.
Mark Wahlberg. Yeah. Yeah, the guy I'm thinking about, his name's Dennis something. He was in the Super Mario Bros. Movie as well.
True.
He played Bowser. He plays a really good villain. Anyway, in Speed, he had a fucking handheld thing.
Same thing.
That's
same thing.
sick,
Same
yeah.
thing. Yeah,
That
except it
probably
was
would have been
to
a
a.
remote detonator. This is hooked in.
Well,
So
it was
the
hooked to
one you
a.
use is cable.
It was hooked to a suicide.
This is like an
vest.
Al Akbar, low fucking, like low tech. There's nothing. They want to eliminate things that can go wrong.
So it's just
So human error of letting
one-
the trigger go
yeah,
or
wow.
whatever, right?
Well, you got to put a key in. So he gave to me, put a key in. He goes, all right, push the button. So I push the button. He instantly goes, wrong button, and then
What really?
instantly explosions.
How many buttons are there? He said
was
push
fucking
the
with
button.
me.
Oh fuck.
Wait. So is this an actual thing that happened? You pressed the wrong button.
You
No,
didn't.
it just shows you how professional these dudes are.
Right.
First
You
time
would
Right.
have
setting it
fucking
off.
packed yourself, eh?
Right.
Oh yeah, well instantly you hear an explosion, and then a rush of air comes and like billows down the drive and blows your socks off. And I just looked at him like wide-eyed, and he just laughed and got in the ute and drove off.
What a
So
sick guy.
it's not that serious. It is,
Yeah.
if you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
but that's the shit that goes on.
Fuck yeah, man.
It's crazy.
It
So-
sounds like
so-
an awesome job
well,
when you describe it like that.
In that case, is like, was he fucking with you?
Oh, he was fucking with
He
me.
was fucking with your heart, right?
Yeah.
So, because I can't wrap my head around like
Actually,
Mondays
fucking
buckles.
with
'Cause-
someone
'cause there's-
who's got a
you've
massive.
got the traditional like tradesman apprentice dynamic, right?
Yeah,
And it's like.
but it's also
But
explosive.
it's also explosives, and the tradesman fucking stitches them up by like making them blow up the wrong part of the fucking mine. It's like-
What a stitch up,
What
eh,
a-
boys?
Wait, no, that's what. Wait, I got
Yeah.
fucking Jeremy Gooday, or you fucking stitched him up Gooday. Well, you did say it was only about 1% of your job, right? So I got to ask you, what is the main sort of like work that you do day to day?
So we're either running a pace plant, which is sitting in front of a computer, just running the dispatch for the plan, looking
Yeah.
at the sensors, running it from there, or
Yeah.
probably 70-80% of the job is running in the steel pipes,
Yeah.
running poly pipes, basically fucking around with the pipe network to get it to pour where you want it to pour,
Yeah.
installing
True.
pour points. It's a lot of manual pipe fitting, basically. I'm a
Yeah.
qualified pipe fitter.
And that's the thing, it's like, because nowadays if you hear the words underground miner, right, like you instinctively go towards like blackface, like coal miner,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
It's like that, for sure.
and that's the thing, is like, do you actually, I mean, I'm assuming you don't actually have a pickaxe to fucking rock,
We have
right?
Pelican picks, which
What?
is more...
So you actually chip away at that shit,
No,
right?
it's to move the tailing. Oh, it's just to move the loose shit.
Mm.
No, we don't pick up anything. We
And
don't.
so there's shit to do that for you, right?
There's machine.
Yeah.
Well, obviously we have massive like
Yeah.
bulldozers and
This is
diggers
Australia.
and all sorts of shit.
Yeah, this is Australia, mate.
Yeah, we're like leading the edge of mining. We're good. We
So
Oh,
have-
yeah,
have you
we're pretty decent,
Have
yeah.
you driven any big machinery?
Yeah, I've driven a bogger, dump truck. One of my main jobs is when you're pouring, you got to load tailings into the hopper when you're mixing up the cement. So, yeah, that's like a big loader.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of fun. Cat.
I mean, those are those big motherfuckers, like, the
Yeah.
fucking, yeah.
Well, the tyre's taller than you, kind of thing.
No, you're probably the tire is about the same. It's about 1.8 meters, which is how
fuck.
tall I am.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But no, you're probably thinking of the open cut machines are far bigger than an underground. All the underground machines are like they're big, but they're not fucking.
Well, I
huge.
mean, they have to go underground,
true.
right? Like, how big can an underground cavity get? That you get
How big
Pretty
can
big.
it get?
Yeah, how big can they get?
I think the decline is about 6 meters tall and maybe 5 meters wide.
What's the decline?
Is
The decline's the main road that spirals into the ore body, and then off the decline we have ore drives that go off into the ore body.
Like a beehive, sort of.
Because that's the thing, right? Because I think I have to remind, or well, not remind. I think I have to. Well, maybe it's better if Luke explains. But when you talk about underground mining, it starts all from a giant fucking excavation, right?
No, not ours.
Not yours.
A lot of them, they will open cut until it's not really feasible.
Like a quarry sort of thing.
If the amount of like a quarry, if the amount of ore in the ground is there, then they'll open cut because it's worth it.
Yeah.
When they start getting less, they can tunnel and follow it. It's called narrow vein mining, and you can follow the ore body.
And they just do tests to find like where the ore.
They
goes
do probes, diamond drillers.
Yeah. Okay.
So what did you say? Narrow cut and open vein, right? So what's
open
the narrow
cut and narrow vein
open cut
mining?
Fucking switch that shit.
There's plenty of different kinds of underground.
Yeah.
What we do is narrow vein mining.
That's fucking
Right.
cool, man.
So what's the idea of a narrow vein? Because like I'm hearing these words and I'm picturing a vein of ore that's narrow.
That's exactly what it is.
So yeah, so if there's a big bit of ore there, they'll like open cut, so like go down, take all the shit out. Am I right in saying that? And then if it gets less, they do little narrow lanes further down into where the.
I don't do the calculations. It's basically if they're going to make money.
Yeah.
It's just however they decide they're going to make money.
Yeah, true.
So obviously you get your orders. So
exactly. I do what I'm told.
Yeah, you just do what you're told, right?
Jump, and I'll say how high.
Yeah. Speaking of shifts, what are your shifts?
Yeah.
So I do 7 days on, 7 days off. The dream.
That's pretty good, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do a week of days, week off, week of nights.
I think in these days, in these fucking COVID days, man, especially like international, like over internationally, like the idea of working 7 days on and 7 days off
is slowly.
Like, I don't want to say you have it good, like, because I don't know
I got it fucking good.
well, that's the thing. Your attitude towards it obviously is like.
But also, like you said earlier, it's if you can do it or not. And I mean, a lot of people can't do
exactly
7 days of like what 12-hour days.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. How often do you go into like a oh, how can I not think of the word? A fucking constricted space.
Never.
You never have to do that.
They never want that to happen.
So when you're underground,
and that's the thing, right? Because
nice
like,
if you're,
big and like
you have the golden rule, is you never go under
confined space,
unsupported ground.
Right. Okay.
So you're underground. There needs to be ground supporting. There's no confined spaces. They design it that way.
Fuck yeah.
No, that reminds me
engineers are amazing.
That reminds me of old Samwise's fucking trip into the
septic tank.
There was nothing underneath him, man.
No unsupported ground.
No unsupported ground, mate. Well, that's that. Okay, so that's pretty interesting because it really depends on what kind of fucking mineral you're mining, right? Like depending on what kind of approach you use to it.
Well,
right?
I've got to say, this is the only underground mine I've worked at.
Okay.
So what we're involved in batteries.
Do you mind me asking how long you've been there for, or do you want to keep that?
Oh, it's only been about 2.5 years.
Okay.
So yeah.
But 2.5 years is like a good amount of time to like get like pretty acquainted with it, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, I know what I'm doing.
You're pretty comfortable. Yeah, you're pretty comfortable.
I definitely know what I'm doing. I'm happy to run what I do. The paste fill, I can run that with 2 people that don't really know what's going on, and
get it done.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's like so because you mentioned you do a lot of piping, right?
Correct.
So like are you in there with like a fucking arc welder or whatever? Like
I do have to weld up when there's really hard intersections.
Yeah.
It's a part of why I got the job. I'm a boilermaker by trade. So,
okay, there you go.
So part of why I got the job was because I can do that.
You can weld, yeah.
You try and avoid it because it's a pressurized line. It's like a whole other thing.
And that's a weak spot down the future kind of thing.
Well, in my opinion, it's stronger than the joints.
Did you also
Depending on who does it.
Did you also get the job because your sweat literally just insulates you from heat, and that's why you're a boilermaker in the first place?
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
I've noticed the thing about boilermakers is that they just don't give a fucking shit about heat.
Or being dirty, or
just like
anything. Yeah.
Boilermakers, I got
Being
fucking respect for
burned,
you motherfuckers because I know enough
Tough
of
as
them,
fuck.
and they do some shit. Like it doesn't matter what fucking like industry you're in, like your boiler, you're making boils.
Correct.
And boiling makers, like you're doing some hard shit and getting pretty sweaty. While like I did a bit of welding when I was in year 9 because
with like flux and solder.
Just the oxyacetylene paint.
Oxy.
Fuck yeah, you know. And I was like, man, fuck wearing this mask all the time. This is fucking bullshit.
Imagine wearing.
I can't see shit. All I can see is this fucking flame, and it's hell dull. And I'm like, I get the temptation to just flip the mask up every now and then. But
so have you fucked up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, just in general, like, well, okay.
Have you made any big fuck ups?
Yes.
Yeah. What's a big fuck up you've made?
Or someone else has made it?
I had a fuck up that I made that was not. I'm going to say it's not my fault. I was lucky. The person in the ute with me was a jumbo op at the time. Now he's a shift boss.
He was a what?
A jumbo op. They're like God's gift to underground mining. Just ask them, they'll tell you.
A jumbo up.
Jumbo operator. Jumbo op.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah.
They're the big dicks of the mine.
Yep.
Yeah, swinging low.
Yep. So I was lucky. He was in the car. He had a lot of say. Basically, when all was said and done, he looked at me and he said, "If I was in his car, no one would believe this just happened."
Really?
Yeah, and no one believed us. So,
hey, well, I mean, that's a fucking win right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened?
Piqued my curiosity.
Yeah, you really fucking piqued me. Yeah.
Right. So we were cruising down the decline. Me and this jumbo was taking him to his job. I was a nipper at the time.
Yep. Actually, well, what's a nipper?
Nipper is just the jumbo bitch. You just the offside, you do whatever the fuck they tell you.
The TA to the jumbo, basically.
Jerk them off, do whatever.
Yeah.
They tell you.
Lick his nipples twice a day.
Fucking suck on those nipples, that's right.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're heading down. We're just chatting. We've heard that it's very slippery underground because it's a very humid day.
Right.
So there's a bogger. He's laying road base just in front of the crib room.
Yeah.
He's called up. It's really slippery. No one come down laying road base. No
Yeah.
worries. So I pull up about 50 metres short of him. As I put my foot on the brake, the car just starts rolling into the bogger. So
yeah, right.
So the ABS came on, or the anti-lock braking or whatever. It wouldn't let me brake.
Yeah.
So I started accelerating, got about 35. His bucket's up in the air, pretty much level with our cab. And the jumbo up just starts yelling at me, put it in the wall. So
really,
I put the ute in the wall. It's got like this poly bull bar. It just hit the wall and bounced off and put me straight.
Oh my god. Dude, that's so brutal.
So I'm just facing the bog again.
Hard enough to make that decision, and then, it sends you back
literally
into chaos. You're like, what the fuck?
And you're all set for it as well. You're like, man, I'm going to crash this car into the
fucking
fucking
wall. I'm going to crash it. And then it doesn't crash. You're like, what the fuck?
No, I froze. I was white knuckling the steering wheel. Completely froze.
I mean, as you would if you were seeing a fucking a scooper, coming straight out the fucking thing,
doing anything.
Jesus.
So bounce off the wall, still going at it. He goes again. So I nudge it into the wall, get in the drain. I go in between the wall and the bogger. I scrape both. The car fits.
Oh.
There was about 1 centimetre to spare.
Like enough to kind of
knocked off both
crack
mirrors.
it in a bit. Oh, okay, yeah.
Just knocked off both mirrors. I was just against the wall and kept sliding past the bogger for probably another 20 metres.
Holy shit!
And
holy fuck!
Yeah, man. I was pretty fucked. Like I was
a bit fucking worried. Yeah.
So how far did you go?
I slid for 70 metres.
Dude,
yeah. And
that would have happened real quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was definitely shaken. And then the jumbo he says that to me, and then he goes, "Why didn't you press the e-stop?" And I just looked at the e-stop for 10 seconds, and I was like, "I don't know. Why didn't you press it?"
Yeah, motherfucker. motherfucker. Why didn't you press it?
I think the jumbo op was after a payout, eh?
A little bit.
Yeah, he was like, you know what? I might live through this.
He's like aiming like certain
Yeah.
limbs at like the fucking.
Sticks his arm out the window.
The shovel. Yeah.
And this took place the day after a 3-day safety stop.
Right, so they were a bit of high alert at the moment.
We
Did that cause another
safety stop?
my
Correct.
God.
So the shift boss comes down. I've gone to have a coffee from the crib room because we were just there because I was a bit shaken. I'm just trying
fuck it. Let's peak
Just trying to calm the fuck down a bit,
trying to
yeah.
calm down. I'm like, all right, it's all good. I didn't do anything wrong. I know I'm all good. The shift boss, I hear him 100 meters away. What the fuck is this? This is a fucking setup. Yous are fucked.
This is a setup.
dude.
Instantly starts shaking. Anyway, he grabs us. We go up. They shut the mine down. He puts us in a room for, I think, the rest of the shift. It was probably like 9 hours, just isolated.
What, like
Really?
just you two isolated, like a dungeon.
And the bogger operator, driver.
So you and the bogger were and
A
the other
vehicle
guy
collision,
were,
vehicle to vehicle collision is
Both parties.
Right.
They need to get investigators in.
yeah. Okay.
Like, and vehicle versus heavy vehicle is even worse.
I'm assuming for insurance purposes, like they need
Just
to get that
because
fucking
Australia
shit
doesn't
done.
want people dying, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna complain with
Yeah.
that, right? Like, again, I've worked in the mine once, and that one experience I had, I was like, man, the safety is fucking off the rails here. Like, it was to the point where I was like, man, I don't even care if I get crushed by a fucking 10-ton like concrete block. Like, can I just leave?
Do I have to keep filling out
do I
paperwork?
need a fucking permit to fucking go have a cigarette? Like, come on, man. Like, let me just do my shit.
Can I just have a dart, bro?
And that's the thing. It's like different minds are different, right? So like,
So you're
Different
isolated
cultures.
in a fucking
Yeah.
room. They just grabbed you and threw you in a room for
So
9
first
hours.
of all, they drug tested us all.
Oh,
of
true.
course, yeah. That's pretty
The
standard.
bogger up actually failed, which made me feel pretty bad.
Oh man, and he didn't do anything.
Do you know what he failed for?
Well,
I mean, we're
lucky
assuming
for him,
pot.
it was amphetamines, but it's just because he eats like 30 dexys a day.
Yeah,
Oh, true,
okay.
fair enough.
And he's got a prescription.
Yeah, so it was all good, but I felt fucking bad because I was like, have I
As
just
you
lost
would,
this dude's
yeah.
job? He's got 6 fucking children.
Oh no.
Oh, you know the guy personally as well.
Yeah, we're good mates. We're all mates. Everyone on the
no.
crew is mates.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
brutal. So, okay, at least you're locked in a room with your mates.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was just sweating.
yeah. So they bring in investigators? Is that what happens next? Or?
Well, they have like a site investigation. Obviously, they send it all off to the Board of Mining or whatever, and then they show up like months later. And it's not like, a big thing, but it was just because when you have any vehicle touch another vehicle, they do a big hoo-ha.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like every time, like again, we're harping on the safety because Australia is just super safety conscious, which is great, right?
Nanny.
You don't want people fucking dying, right?
Nah.
It reminds me of the
They
town.
don't want downtime. That's why they don't want people dying.
You remember the town we used to live in that I've mentioned before,
Yep,
but not
that-
by name?
Shit old town.
That piece of shit town.
Yep.
There was a guy who died because I made the joke before, 10-ton fucking concrete block, but a concrete block fell on him.
Wasn't it a dude walking along on the path? He wasn't even on site, and something.
No. It was a work. It was a scaffy. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, true. Okay.
Yeah.
And he just
so
had a
yeah.
concrete block land on him.
Yeah, well, I think it was like, don't quote me on it. It was like something to do with like, it wasn't the crane operator that fucked up, but it was like a foundation that just like kind of fucking
Dude.
dropped. And
But it
and
happens.
there's
It
blocked.
happens everywhere.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it still
And then
happens,
these
even though
massive
with all this
companies
massive.
just like lobby for it not to be in the media.
Well, do you know how much fucking money these cunts lose when fucking someone loses an arm?
Yeah.
It's funny for the
They
job.
lose more for the sheer fact they have to shut the mine down for
Yeah.
a few hours. Everybody.
This thing, I don't know, because workers' comp is one of those things. If anyone who is outside the country, we in Australia we have something called workers' compensation, and by law it means that if you're injured at work, you can elect to hold the employer accountable, but because they happen on their work site. Yeah, I mean,
And
there's
that's
different
because,
factors.
so usually it's, I've broken my hand, I cut my hand.
Exactly right.
I'm going to get workers' comp because I did it at work because there was no safety procedures in place.
A good example is I've recently hurt my shoulder at work. It's been painful for the last month and a half, and it's one of those things that workers' comp deals with. It's
Yep.
like pays for my physiotherapy sessions, pays for my wage if I'm not like if I can't work the usual job that I'm working. And that's the thing.
And
It's
it pays
like
for the odd wristy here and there.
what risky here and there. You want to go down to the Taiwanese massage parlor down at night. I mean, they'll shift out a few fucking $100 for that as well. We get looked after in Australia is the point.
Yeah.
But fuck off, we're full. I'm sorry, the drop down.
Yeah.
Well, that's fucking pretty interesting, man. Because
It's amazing.
and that's the thing. It's like you might know a bit more than me about how hectic the safety fucking like. Obviously, you're dealing with explosives and all that sort of shit, right? But in terms of like, what's the most stupid? Again, we're not mentioning names or anything here because obviously we want to keep your whole
Identity
existence
sacred.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sacred. But I need to know, man. Like what's like the most stupid thing, like safety wise? Because there's a lot of things that I've
Well, you
heard
said
from
the
different people.
gloves, I guess.
I've got to say at the moment,
Actually, the gloves,
it's
yeah.
the gloves. Yeah.
It is the
You
gloves,
can't
yeah.
get out of the ute without putting gloves on
That's so
in case you
frustrating.
fall over. It's
And
like
I can't help but wonder. It's one of those things.
Is that
it's
because
like,
someone fell over and like hurt
of
themselves?
course, yeah.
Of course it was,
Oh,
man.
shit,
What
yeah.
else is it? Someone fucking hurt themselves. Maybe you wear 7 pairs of fucking gloves now.
You got like 100 people working for a year, and
Yeah.
one person falls over and hurts their hand.
Yeah.
And now, for the next 100 years, every single person has to put gloves on
Yeah.
before they get out of their ute.
Yeah. And
Or
that's,
they could get sacked.
and that's the thing, because they've just cost the company a bunch of money now in workers' compensation. It's a double-edged sword what we've got in Australia, but
Have you
it works
seen,
pretty well.
Have you seen anyone else do anything stupid?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or heard any horror stories, maybe? Of like.
I've seen some dumb shit, but it's always
Pretty
like
mellow.
to get the job done. It's
Yeah.
like, this probably isn't amazing, but it just has to be done.
Well,
There's no other way to
do you
it.
work with any fucking ancient motherfuckers that, like, have been in the field?
They're still using
for-
lanterns?
Yeah, like,
Absolutely.
like they're checking the structural integrity of welds with, like, fucking torchlights and shit.
They've got canaries like in cages.
Canaries, yeah. That's the one we're looking
Yes.
for. You pulled it out of nowhere.
Yes. No, like, what's their take on all this shit? Like, if they told you anything, like,
Basically everyone's soft, everyone's a gay cunt.
yeah,
You're not working hard enough.
yeah,
It
Back
used to
in
be
their
harder.
day, it was way fucking harder.
yeah,
They're all good blokes, but
they're just a bit too hardcore, like, for the times.
what they
like.
often say is mining used to be fun.
Oh, really?
That's basically what they say.
yeah.
And now there's
So many rules and shit in place. It's taken all the fun out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like,
What could be fun? What, they made it fun by singing songs and stuff.
okay, now you know what I think about. Sorry to interrupt you, man. You know what I think about is that famous photo of those fucking 5 construction workers
on the
top of-
beam.
on the beam. That's what I think about back in the days. man. They just have fun, man.
When they were like building New York or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. That's what, like it was Empire State Building or something. I think. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you
They
fell
all
off.
have the caps on.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and they're eating their
Eating their
lunch, man.
lunch and
Yeah,
shit,
like
yeah.
little fucking little metal lunch boxes and shit. Like,
And if someone falls off and dies, it's like, why did you fall off?
well,
fall
you're
off.
being a dumb cunt. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
fall
Don't
off.
fall
That's
off,
your
cunt.
fault. That's
Yeah.
your fault. So
That's the safety measure.
Yeah, exactly.
You only get one life.
Well, it's like they never used to wear hard hats. They never used to. Like, I think safety boots, fucking work boots, were a thing. Like, were always a thing, right?
They
Because
probably weren't even always steel capped.
well, that's the thing. It's like I reckon they were because
You
like,
reckon?
oh man,
Maybe they were just steel to begin with.
you
They
can
were just all steel.
you can fuck someone up with a steel cap.
well, they're a
man.
tool. You know, in construction, you boot shit around with your foot. It's like a hammer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, like if there's like a brick out of place, man, in the wall, and the mortar's
tap.
still setting, just like fucking put it in place, man.
Donker in.
That's it.
Actually, Tomo used to be a bricklayer, the artist.
Oh, our artist.
Yeah.
He used to be a brickie.
Yeah, he used to be a brickie. Yeah, he actually told me about. Yeah, no, like because he'd work 12 hours a day. He'd start getting shit faced at about 1 o'clock with the boys, and they'd just work the rest of the day in fucking like 38-degree heat, and just like at that point you're just kind of like, yeah, no, brick sticking out, just give it a tap, like that kind of
Fuck
thing.
it, boys. It's just a house.
Like, fuck boys, it's just a house,
Someone's just
someone's
getting
fucking house,
Yeah, man.
Shit, yeah.
Is there anything you wanted to maybe tell us that, anything you wanted?
Well,
to
I actually wanted to know. Because again, we're gonna withhold information about your company and and what you make and all that. But because we're in Western Australia, that's all I'm comfortable with dictating, with expressing to our audience, right? You shall never find out about
Quick Google search might help.
the secret
We said
secret
we're on
19
lockdown.
the secret 1980s party house palace that is in the middle of a gentrified, poor, poverty-stricken suburb in Perth. But that's where we're at.
Yep.
But we are in Western Australia. Western Australia's got mines all over the place. What is the mineral that you mine?
So it's extremely important in batteries.
Yeah.
So it's not lithium.
Yeah.
And yeah, go and do some googling.
Yeah. So you probably might be able to figure it out yourself.
They all.
What else is power batteries other than lithium? Figure it out yourself.
Do you know like what percentage of mining is that thing that you do, or is it like a? Is it the
I pour
majority?
concrete in a hole.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not really.
but it is one of those things that like we kind of depend upon as a country.
Yeah. Definitely.
Like we know what it is. Obviously, we're just kind of protecting Luke's identity at the moment. But yeah, it's one of those things that we kind of need. But there's a few of those mines around the country as well, and they've still been going stronger. Like after about 60 years or so, like there's a big industry for this shit as well, which really makes me think it's like why aren't there more like underground miners? Because a lot of the shit that we find is underground, but a lot of the other shit we're mining is like gas. And Like, obviously, there's like a big fucking market for that
gold,
shit, right?
We still do gold, right?
Oh yeah, we do lots of gold, man. We do fuck tons of gold. Like it's a bit more regulated now, obviously, but like we do fuck tons of gold. Actually, a guy I worked with, he's got a stake in a gold mining company that's prospecting at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, apparently he's got like 4K into it. He might get a bit out of it, but.
That's the way to go, mate.
Good luck to him.
I mean, from that town where we used to be, and people would go out all the time.
Yeah.
And just
prospect.
Walk around with a fucking metal detector.
Yeah, prospect.
Dig a hole. Oh, there's nothing there. Walk around. Dig a hole.
Well,
oh, look, there's a big old nugget there.
Yeah, there's a big old nugget there.
That's $3,000.
Yeah.
Thanks. Sick. I'll have that.
Yeah.
There's gold everywhere in Australia. Absolutely everywhere.
Oh, yeah. And it's funny because it actually flows downstream as well. So, like, all you really... Yeah, we're full bar. Fuck off. Fuck off.
Don't come here.
We are not a literal El Dorado, where you can just come and find gold. That shit happened in the 30s, the 40s?
No idea.
The Chinese came and took it all.
I can have it.
It was called the Gold Rush.
We're gonna get it anyway.
We're gonna get it anyway.
Yep.
Alright, so was there anything else actually like hectic that you've dealt with in this job? Or?
I can think of something personally because I don't want to just say stupid shit people have done because it happens every day.
Yeah, of course.
Something I've personally done that's probably the dumbest thing I've done was we were doing re-entries.
Yeah.
So after they fire, you go down, you have to monitor gas, make sure it's all good to open where they've just fired.
Yeah.
I was busting for a shit.
Nice.
And so the other dude goes out and there's been a misfire in the face, which basically means one of the boosters hasn't gone off the back of the hole. So he's trying to hose it out because it's under unsupported ground.
Right. So a booster is. I'm assuming it's something that
the booster is what sets off the emulsion. So
okay.
That's the emulsion's like a ammonium nitrate.
So it's kind of like the spark plug.
Yeah, it's the main like match that sets off the boom.
Yeah.
So he's trying to hose that out with a water hose. And I'm just sitting there.
Is this like residue, or is he like prepping it?
This is after.
Yeah, this is after. Yeah,
the re-entry.
Because you don't want that shit hanging on the walls while you're
no, because the bog could come scrape the face. It could.
Yeah.
Could air quotes go off.
Very very quick detraction for this. So you can't smoke in the underground.
There is no smoking on the site
at all.
At all. Every cunt smokes.
Yeah.
On site, I'm guessing.
So if someone higher up walks on site, do they all quickly, word gets around, radios go off?
Or do the higher up smoke as well on site?
People know when they can get away with it. There's like a sixth sense, you know what you can get away with.
But it's always cheeky.
Yeah, it's always a cheeky one.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to ask that. Please go on, yeah.
Absolutely. So he's hosing that out, he's not getting it, and I'm sitting there like, pretty much shitting myself. So I'd go, just look that way for 2 minutes, and he kind of gives me a look, turns around. I just walk up the reel, grab it out, and I walk back. So let's go. And that was a pretty dumb thing to do, going under unsupported ground. But at the time, it had to be done.
Right,
Because
so
you had to shit.
Yeah.
You had to shit.
So you went under unsupported ground, grabbed something explosive with your hands.
It was about 2 seconds, yeah.
And then decided, that's amazing. So, I mean, you said that might be the dumbest thing, but I think that's probably
that's pretty
one of the
badass.
greatest things you've done.
It was a controlled risk, for sure.
A controlled risk.
Yeah,
I like that fucking verbiage for that.
Yeah.
Controlled. Dude, that's insane. So not only did you go underneath unsupported ground, you grabbed something that was ready to blow.
Hazard. Yeah.
Ready to blow.
Potentially.
All because you needed to fucking shit.
Really bad.
I love it. And that's what it's all about being Australian, mate. Is you need to take a shit. Fuck it.
The food on site can,
Wait, no, it really is the canteen's fault, isn't it? It's the fucking shit that they feed you, eh?
Alrighty, well,
yeah,
we know you've listened to a couple of our episodes. You said,
I have.
Yeah,
tuned in.
As you know, we do the news, but we always have a Dodge Barge before we do the news.
We always have a Dodge Barge, ladies and gentlemen. We will return. Thank you so much, Luke, for coming onto the show and telling us what it is about to be, what it is like to be an underground miner. And honestly, it's one of those things where it's like, I imagine people will be like, oh, underground miner, and they'll come and they'll be like, oh, right, okay, so he actually doesn't have a fucking pickaxe, and he doesn't, like, get blackface, like, without meaning to, and get like, barraged by feminists on the way home from work, because he's wearing blackface. But, like...
Not much feminists up there, they do not last long.
That's a very good point.
There's definitely a lot of sexual harassment going on.
I mean, there's a... I shouldn't laugh about that because that's like a big problem that apparently we've got. But it's very serious. No, but yeah, I feel like a lot of people would expect like an underground miner to just be like, I come with a pickaxe. But you've kind of explained it in a way that's a bit more sophisticated than that. Like, even though you're not the one controlling the explosion, even though you're not the engineer that's like coordinating the flow of nitrous, whatever chemical it is that you use to blow shit up.
I think it's ammonium nitrate.
Ammonium nitrate. I was very off. I think you've demonstrated to us what it is to be an underground miner in Australia.
Yeah.
And I'm not expecting you whatsoever to tell me how much money you make.
But how much do you
But
make?
is it decent?
So before tax, it's pretty good.
And that's all it needs to be said, really.
Yeah.
Our tax system is fucking shit.
After tax,
all of you
it's like, why am I bothering? But it's definitely good. There's perks. It's good.
I feel like one of the great injustices is that we've had this insane industry open up for the regular person, mining, for the ability for the regular fucking person to make some good cash. And then the government chucks like a 45% tax on you. I think that's fucking... criminal shorts. They make the fucking laws, right? But I think that's fucking dog shit, man.
No, I don't want to say I'm hard done by because
you still
I
make
pay
a
for
bit.
fuel, I don't look how much it costs. I just fill the tank up.
Yeah.
And I haven't...
And you've got that luxury, right?
I haven't looked at how much fuel has cost since I started working up there, so it's good.
And if you had it, you would have realised it dropped significantly, but you don't care, and that's the point.
Is it full?
And that's the point.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with some news. We just have to currently get some cancer in our lungs, so we'll be right back. Alright, we got some news for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Jesse, hit me with some news, bro.
So, I just want to say, first of all, you remember how you cracked the shits a few episodes ago at The Guardian?
Oh, man, there is a lot of things I hate The Guardian for.
Every time I find a decent link and it goes to The Guardian, I get infuriated. It's the worst.
Is it because they fucking paywall you?
Dude,
or?
it's like cookies, and then you get rid of that, and then it's an ad, so you have to scroll around, and then it paywalls you. Like, 10 words in.
They're such motherfuckers. Like, who wants to read your dog shit fucking newspaper anyway if you want to fucking charge money for it?
The worst thing is that works. Like, there must be so many old people out there just like, oh, but it is the best source of the news, and just like paying them $60 for fucking...
I don't know, man. I think it subsists. The Guardian subsists on donations from like dole-fueled fucking uni students. Man.
yeah.
That's what it's.
Who need reference material for their
yeah,
case
exactly,
study.
exactly.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, here's a fucking study on Myanmar and how they're racist against people.
And
or
I just
women or
need to
something.
finish this. It's 2 a.m.
It's 2 a.m. Yeah, let me
need
just fucking
something I
pay
can-
the $10.
Yeah.
Cunt. Let's go. Anyway, yeah, the Guardian has put out some fucking bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, well, so yeah, I found a new source. Ahmed Post.
Mm.
Yeah, not sure, not sure how reputable it is.
Ahmed Post.
But this article's Italian mafia orders ambulance drivers to stop using sirens because they disturb drug dealers. Legit, man. So there's been multiple cases.
Is this in Italy or?
Yeah.
I'm guessing. Yeah.
So, Naples specifically.
Right.
So they've ordered medics to stop using sirens while driving the ambulance. They claim that the noises and flashing lights interrupt their drug dealers' business. Drug pushers have said to often mistake the sounds as the arrival of police cars.
Oh, really? Well, if you had a bit more of a higher IQ score, drug dealers of Italy, then you'd recognise
the
that
fucking difference.
The siren is a different noise between an ambulance and a cop.
Yeah, dude. There was one guy. They actually rode up on motorbikes behind the ambulance. Rode up on each side and started smashing on the windows. And then one of them pulled a gun while they're riding on the bike.
They're like, "Can you fucking stop making
threatening
noise?"
to kill the driver. Driver just pulls over, turns his sirens off. Dying person in the back.
Oh.
Calls the police. Please help me. Like, I need to get this person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
People need their coat.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, man.
And
Imagine having that much fucking throw though, being like, stop using sirens. Like
the dick I swing is slightly larger and heavier than the dick you swing. So
Yeah.
stop with the sirens and save people's
so
lives.
brutal. Eh?
But it just fucking like okay, I it makes sense now because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't the Italian mafia have like somewhat of a powerful position within?
I was just amazed that they have that much power. The power to be able to stop medics from using sirens.
That is fucking crazy. That's crazy, man. Like, well, okay, so let's assume.
I thought the Italian mafia, like I thought they all just ran like pizza shops now, and they just
that's
did
what I
like,
thought. They
money
were just
laundering and
yeah, they're just doing money laundering and
Yeah.
shit. Look,
Maybe
who the
some
fuck deals
drugs,
drugs anymore? Drugs is for it's those fucking Crips and Bloods, man. Like,
yeah.
the sophisticated Italian mafia, man.
They shouldn't be fucking.
They're dealing in laundromats and fucking like
Yeah, they have like
armed weapons deals.
They have like business meetings over like a big dinner. Like,
exactly, man. They're in suits and
why
shit.
are they on street corners and shit?
One of these motherfuckers has got like a gold chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking like just around his fucking face, you know. It's like fucking.
Yeah.
Oh, so man. Okay, like
That's a real thing.
Okay, alright. So here's the thing. It's like a lot of people compare governments to mafia, right? And I have to say the governments are worse than mafia because governments do things called double tapping, right? Double tapping, especially American.
Well, they tax your pay and then they tax your food.
No, they tap you on the face with a fucking drone strike, right?
Double tap.
But then they
like
tap
Call
you.
of Duty.
They tap you again when the fucking ambos come to rescue your ass, right?
Yeah.
So they tap the ambos again, right? I mean, at least the Italian mafia isn't as bad as the US government. Is the point I'm getting at with. It's alright.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they don't.
There's so much ambulance in the area because they keep whacking people.
Just keep fucking whacking people. Another ammo comes out. Alright, well I've got one. I don't know, how many have you got for us, Jesse?
However many we need.
Alright, well look, I'll get onto my one then because I mean this one's a pretty recent one and I feel like we have to fucking talk about it. As many of you may know about, there was a bit of some shenanigans with the stock market.
The hedge fund thing.
So. Yeah, there was a few very rich people that lost quite a bit of money recently. GameStop, boys. I mean, we didn't have GameStop in Australia. We had EB Games.
EB
right?
Games, they're a subsidiary.
Subsidiary.
And EB
and I don't
Games-
think they even are. Are they?
Yeah,
Are they actually?
Yeah. And
Okay,
it
I can
stands
believe that,
for Electronics Boutique, by the way. Anyone who didn't know.
Well, we had Electronics Boutique
Yeah.
before it was EB Games.
Because they just started only selling games.
Yeah.
Because none of the other shit they sold.
Exactly.
sold,
They sold they were like a retail store like anyone else. They were like selling TVs and shit. Like
Aux cables.
yeah, like Oxco, like
Cable
yeah.
people needed them.
Just, yeah, you know.
Well, now you get them at Kmart for $5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, $3.
Alright, so well, okay, so
So
something.
I didn't actually read into this at all. What happened?
Okay, so
Because
look.
I kind of ignored it.
Alright, so
Elon Musk was involved or some shit.
old Daddy Musk was involved, right? So here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm not very well versed within the stock market, but I do know a few things, and the few things I've learned have to do with stonks, and have been entirely within the past week. So I'm going to do my absolute best to try and convey what the fuck's going on at the moment. So, have you heard about this, Luke? The whole fucking stock market?
I've heard about it. Yep, people have been quipping on about it for a while, talking shit.
Yeah.
I don't pay any attention to it.
Yeah.
Because I just don't want to understand it.
Well, I don't blame you, because it's a bit of a fuckheadery.
I know nothing about it.
And realistically, you got other shit to worry about.
Like, exactly. We all got our lives to fucking
people,
live.
making money, blowing up fucking mines.
I didn't even know we were locking down.
Yeah.
Until I got told by the person I live with. That was one day into the lockdown. So.
And you're like, oh fuck, where's my mask?
Yeah, I don't pay attention.
Yeah.
There's that one guy who's he has no idea what's going on. It's like 4 days in. He's just like not wearing a mask.
He already hasn't left the house. Like he's been on a fucking.
He's been
in a WoW raid for 3 days.
Yeah, he's been in a WoW raid for 3 days. He's grinding mythic fucking whatever the newest dungeon is, and and he's just not realised that everyone's like looking at him because he's not wearing a fucking filthy mask.
Yeah.
It's like covered with snot and fucking saliva. Anyway, so this was a pretty eventful event. I think it's going to change the world. I think this has changed the world. So here's the thing. So I mentioned GameStop, right? So about a week ago, Reddit, there's a subreddit called Wall Street Bets, r/Wall Street Bets, and these are filled with a bunch of guys, as you might imagine, that do a lot of bets on Wall Street.
A lot of trading.
Who would have fucking thought? They do a lot of trading.
But are they the type of guys that trade on shit that, is real risky, but well-informed?
Well, here's the thing. It's like you got your regular sort of stock market guys who are just like regular people like you and I.
They chuck money into things that are safe.
Yeah, that are safe, and they get a gradual investment, bonus over a gradual period of time, whatever. These Wall Street bet guys, they're everyday normal people, but they're not. Obviously, they're not fucking like billionaires. They're not in the game to make more billions, right? They're in the game to just make a couple grand, here and there,
Financial security is what they're after.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're looking to get them.
Sick of eating noodles.
Yeah, like they're looking to get their mum some, quality cancer treatment or some shit like that.
Or new tires or something.
Or their dog's just lost a leg and they need a prosthetic one.
They want to retire when they're 65.
Yeah,
instead
exactly.
of 70.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, maybe there's that chick at the office that you're really into, and you want to buy a CD that just tells you about how cheese was made. You need money to do that, right? So, here's the thing. I'll cut to the chase. So, GameStop, I mentioned before, was the subject of a very, very insane hike in its stock price. And without going too into depth about it, because it's fucking boring.
Is it confusing?
Shit, it's a little confusing. I'm going to try my best to make it as least confusing as possible. So, this subreddit called Wall Street Bets, one guy posted on there he made a thread saying that he's discovered that a bunch of what's called short sellers have bet against GameStop stocks, right? Very, very, very fucking brief, because fuck this shit, it's boring. Very brief overview of what a short seller is.
Cunts.
They're cunts, basically. They're rich motherfuckers that bet money against a company's stock. So if a company's stock goes lower, then they make money off it. It's basically, it's not exactly the opposite of investing in a stock and watching your money go up as its stock goes up, but it's kind of the same, right? But opposite. Opposite, right?
Betting against.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if the stock of the company goes down, you make money. But the catch is, if the stock of the company goes up, you lose money, right? So the problem the problem for all these people that are billionaires that have lost a bit of money in the past week is that they had a bunch of short sells on GameStop. This Reddit thread with this guy who said, hey, we should invest in GameStop because we're going to fucking fuck all of the short sellers out of their money because they bet against GameStop. GameStop went from about $20 a share.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Bad.
To $150 a share in a day.
Yeah, wow.
So, I mean, you can
Compared to their growth, I'm sure that's a bit of a spike.
Well, I mean, they've been going. I mean, who the fuck buys physical media anymore?
Yeah,
They've been going down for a really long time.
But they've been clawing their way down. Like, hey, if you want to buy the new PlayStation, give us all your old consoles and all your old games and $600.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the story, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll be very brief with this. I'll give you the hot minutes about what's going on here. But the title article is GameStop's 1,600% surge in retail investor versus hedge fund battle. So hedge funds, for anyone that doesn't know, if you ever use the term hedge your bets, then you know what a hedge fund is, right? Hedge fund is basically a fund which hedges your bets for you in the stock market.
Right.
So if
you give them your money and they do it for you and they get a percentage.
The hedge fund is a bunch of rich cunts.
The more you make, the more they make it.
The hedge fund is a bunch of rich cunts. You're a rich cunt. You pay these rich cunts to make you more rich.
Yeah.
That's basically the whole idea of
that sounds pretty good, eh?
Yeah. That's the whole idea of it. Like,
so rich you can pay other rich people to make you rich.
Man, rich people are really simple, right? I mean, this fucking dog, man.
Man, sorry, boys.
Let me just close the door really quick.
Close the door. There's a bit of a dog. Some dog in the background.
Fucking dog.
That definitely helped.
Yeah. A little.
Anyway,
I think there's a dog in one of our old episodes too. Yeah. So
that's right. He's part
the
of
rich
the show,
cunts are paying the rich cunts.
So these hedge funds are the ones that, and there was a few other entities responsible. These hedge funds are the ones that are betting against GameStop. And there are other companies as well, like AMC Cinemas is another American company, which is cinemas, right? Who the fuck goes to cinemas anymore? It's COVID-19. It's COVID-19 territory now.
So they bet against them.
They bet against them because obviously, why the fuck wouldn't you if you're a rich cunt? They're going down in stock. They're like, I'll short sell them. They'll make more money, right? Here's the thing: these Reddit investors bet against. They bought GameStop shares. That was the first one. Then they start buying AMC shares, and there was a whole bunch of other companies that were getting short sold on that they invested in. Right?
Yeah.
Like I mentioned before, GameStop went from $20 to $150 in a day. It peaked at about $200.
They're just doing this to reduce the amount of money that the short sellers are making?
Well, I think it was twofold, right? So the first reason is you want to make some money, right? These cunts are out to make money. It's Wall Street bets. They want to make some money, right?
Yeah.
The second reason, the guy made the initial thread said this. He said, this is a perfect opportunity to exploit the system and turn it back on the cunts that fucking exploit the system all the time.
Yeah.
Right? Short selling is an exploit of the system. It's legal because fuck it, it's capitalism. But the reason why it's legal, it doesn't mean it's ethical, right?
So all these people started investing in these companies that were going bust because they knew
it started with Reddit, and then the word spread, and then people started piling into the GameStop stock. $69 billion worth of loss to short sellers.
Dude.
That's just in the amount of money that was traded in short stocks, in short selling against GameStop and AMC and all these other stocks that they bet against, right? At the time I read this, which was about fucking maybe 4 days ago, there was about $9 billion in profit lost. In gains, I should say. It's not profit, it's gains. That's the proper word for it, right? So, here's the thing. It's like...
there's a bunch of rich cunts remortgaging.
What do people like myself and Jesse and Luke think about when we hear about something like this?
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, man. and who's losing it? It's the right people that are
Yeah,
losing this
boy.
money, right?
So
Hey, fuck these motherfuckers. They've been manipulating the game for fucking decades. Fuck them.
Yeah.
They caused the Great Depression in fucking 1920. They caused the fucking global financial crisis in 2008. These are the motherfuckers that are manipulating the market in order to make their fucking gains. Every single motherfucker in the past year that calls himself a billionaire has increased their fucking capital net growth by 80% at least.
Yeah.
Look at Elon Musk, fucking old daddy Musk. We're going to be getting onto him, by the way. That motherfucker is. Oh, look, I like Elon Musk. He does a lot of good things, but that motherfucker over the past year of COVID, he grew his investment. He grew his net worth by like a factor of like 8. He's now the richest person in the world. He went from like 4th or 5th, overtook Jeff Bezos. He's like 40 billion clear of Jeff Bezos at the moment.
Son.
So he should be, but
Yeah.
You know what? If anyone deserves it, it's him. He's making the world apparently a better
Plus, he
better
knows
place,
he gets memes, so that's like kind of, you know.
And that's the other thing. And I don't want to spend too long on this because this is the news, so I don't want to fucking go on about it. But this is the only one I'm going to be bringing in because there's a bit of a timeline to what's happened, and I do want to get onto that. But old Daddy Musk, right? He tweeted out GameStop, right? So he just said the words GameStop, right? What do you think happens from there, right?
Yeah.
You know?
I thought he tweeted out something about Doge as well, Dogecoin.
So that's what I'm going to get onto after I'm finished with the little timeline I've got here. But yes, there's cryptocurrency called Doge. We're going to get into fucking Musk's endorsement of that. But basically, here's the thing. All you got to really worry about is, well, not worry about, you really know is that a bunch of really fucking rich people lost a lot of fucking money in a week.
That's pretty incredible.
And these are people who are...
How much was it? 690 billion.
69 billion worth of fucking short-selling transactions were in the negative. Holy shit, these motherfuckers are hurting. It's called a squeeze.
Can you imagine the rage, dude?
This is what it's called.
There's some dude palming a basketball in an office on a fucking wireless headset right now, just losing his fucking mind.
Yeah, dude.
And the journey's out the bottle now.
Yeah. Exactly. And this is what they're fucking afraid of. This is why I think it's going to change the world, is because everyone has seen what's just happened.
Yeah.
They've seen that.
Very publicized.
Oh, hello. Oh, we forgot that we have the power of the people.
There's no big secrets.
There's no big secrets anymore. Oh, we know how we can fuck these people.
Welcome to the internet.
Welcome to the fucking internet.
Yeah. We're connected. We can fucking make it happen.
Exactly, right? Fuck these rich motherfuckers and fuck their tactics, fuck their manipulation of the market. We're going to fuck them right back, right in the same hole they fucked us.
Yeah.
Alright? That's exactly what's happening in the past week. Fuck these cunts. I delight in the past. It's the best thing that's happened in like 5 years.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
As far as I'm concerned. COVID happened. Fucking bullshit happened. If you don't like Donald Trump, Trump happened, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I read something today that because of like the shutdown, there's less crap in the air. So now the air's cleaner.
But it's also hotter.
The Earth is warming up because it's cleaner.
Take that.
Yeah. We're trying to do the right thing.
Too
late.
I saw that. I was like, oh man, what is truth anymore? Anyway, so look, I'm gonna get through this.
So what does it mean for GameStop?
GameStop's pretty happy, man. Like,
fuck yeah.
Well,
dude.
okay, look, they know.
They're just like a bystander.
They know what's going on. They understand what's going on. They're capitalizing on it. There's not much news in the GameStop front. They're just doing the business they usually do, but they're pretty happy about it. They've tweeted a few things. They've been like, yeah. Hold your socks, guys. This is pretty good.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Sorry, go on.
No, you're right, Kick.
I was just going to say, look, this is from the article, right? So, shares from GameStop surged as much as 1,600% between January 11 and Wednesday, also January 13, 14, right? After an unprecedented stock market battle pitting amateur investors from Reddit piling onto the video game retailer's shares against hedge funds scrambling to cover losing bets.
Imagine being a fucking mod on that subreddit right now.
Oh, dude, you would fucking froth, man. I follow the admin.
Yeah.
For Wall Street Bets. He's a funny cunt.
Yeah, killing it.
He's a funny guy. He loves it, man. He loves it, man. He loves what's going on at the moment. The use of volatile call options, herd buying through social network Reddit, which is what we've just talked about. The involvement of Tesla's Elon Musk and a burst of copycat trades and an apparent speculative retail bubble have contributed to low-profile GameStop on the front page of Financial News. And that's the thing, GameStop had been really low profile for a really long time, you know. So this is what the market is, right? This is what it's all
I
about.
wonder how many other little cheeky little companies are there getting bets put against them, making
Yeah.
heaps of money.
Yeah, exactly.
There's probably people are going to be looking all over for that shit now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. There's something called short interest, and I'm not going to get into, but that basically just encapsulates the capital of short selling, like
Right.
bids against it, right? It reached 71.2 million on January 8th, right? So that's a bit of money. There's a bit of bets against it, right? It goes up to 1.4 billion at one point, right? Reflecting the rising stock price, right? So it rises a little bit when Reddit decides to put their thread out about it. Everyone gets on the bandwagon. January 19th, short seller Citron Research takes aim. They tweet about GameStop saying buyers at these levels, this is when the shit's already going down, they say buyers at these levels are the suckers at this poker game. And stock will quote unquote go back to $20 fast. Hey, motherfucker.
Did that
it's
just-
been a week. It's
It just
$50.
antagonized
$50.
everyone, hey?
A little bit. January 20th, that same research company, hedge fund, delays negative report, saying it does not want to go live with its report on the stock. We can wonder what's going on with the old Citron fucking research, huh? What's going on with you guys, eh? You don't want to release that report, huh?
Yeah, it runs like a machine. Someone just chucks a rock in there.
And January 22, shares rise another 50% to about $200. Elon Musk on January 26 tweets GameStonk. Along with a link to Reddit's Wall Street Bets stock trading discussion group where supporters refer to the Tesla CEO as Papa Musk.
So he already chucked a heap of money
He did.
into it.
He obviously did.
Jesus
did.
Christ.
Shares surged to 92.7%. Top securities regulator in Massachusetts reportedly says that trading in GameStop suggests there is something systematically wrong with the options trading. Thank you!
Yeah.
Thank you! We've been waiting fucking hundreds of years to fucking hear this from someone! Well done! Is there something wrong with the fucking system? Is there? Who would have fucking thunk, eh? Alright, getting back to it.
Jeez.
Woo! Melbourne Capital.
I think you might have peaked it.
Melbourne Capital. Woo!
Definitely.
Woo! Melbourne Capital and Citron closes the majority of their GameStop position at a fucking loss as they should be, you fucking dogs. Alright.
So they held on even longer.
They held on. Well, they had to
Yeah.
because if they bailed out
That's
at a
classic.
negative, they were thinking, these people aren't going to hold as long as they're going to fucking hold on to it, right? No, a week goes by. They got to sell that shit in like 2 days, man.
Yeah.
Like business move fast, but you got to. People want to fucking do shit, you know. Like you got to sell that shit off. That's why all these fucking hedge funds went into bankruptcy. Because they're fucking dog shit and they didn't realize that they could get manipulated against them. The market could get manipulated against them.
Well, they might have
Fuck 'em.
realised, but they might have thought it was very, very, very improbable, which it was, but it happened, right?
It fucking happened. Fuck all of them, man. Fuck all of them.
It was the perfect storm. It had to be GameStop. It had to be Slang.
Exactly. It was such a fucking meme as well.
Yeah,
right?
it was a meme.
It was a fucking meme.
Dude.
And,
It was
and,
a meme.
And that's like, I don't want to get too much into it because I've already spent enough time on it. But again, we mentioned the cryptocurrency Dogecoin. Elon Musk tweeted. That's now the other thing that he's tweeted about is Dogecoin. It's basically it's like Bitcoin, but it was the second cryptocurrency ever invented, right?
Yeah.
After Bitcoin, and it was like a little meme currency. It was. I'm probably wrong about this, but this is how I think it works. Its function is that for every 1,000 transactions, it creates a pool of new Dogecoins.
Oh, true. Okay, so it works differently to Bitcoin.
And that's the thing. All cryptocurrencies have their own function. Like Ethereum's function is to function as a medium for cryptocurrency trading.
Right. Okay.
Right. So each cryptocurrency has its own medium, which is why Ethereum's the second highest valued.
Makes sense.
So Dogecoin is a very low valued coin because it adds to itself. It's a meme coin. You shouldn't invest in it, except when Daddy Musk tells you to invest in it.
Yeah.
Because it went from like 0.07 cents or something like that to 50 cents.
That's amazing, dude.
If you had $1,000 in fucking Dogecoin
You'd be
before Daddy Mask
laughing
before he fucking tweeted about it,
Imagine if you just had a cheeky hundo in there from like a few years
mate,
ago.
you'd be. I don't know if you'd be a millionaire, but you'd be fucking well close to
You'd
it,
be
man.
stoked,
You'd be pretty stoked about what you've just done, and you'd be fucking out of there. And normal fucking Wall Street traders, they're pissed about this as well, because all it is just another financial incentive for regular people to get into the fucking
Into the
mindset
stock
of
market.
trading,
Yeah.
and they don't
And
fucking
the
want
real
that.
the real reality of that is everyone can do it now. Anyone can do it now. Anyone
It's
with an iPad can do it.
easy. It's
Yeah.
easy. If you want to really get
It's
into
more
the
so
stock
just
market,
doing the research and finding out more
Yeah.
about the actual companies that you're buying into. 'Cause
Exactly.
you can fall on something that's like, oh wow, these guys know what they're doing.
yeah.
Bit of funding, bam, you're on your way.
You can be a speculation trader.
Yeah.
So you can be someone that just hears hearsay and then bets on certain stocks, or you can be someone who does their research on a certain company. Maybe it's a gold mine that's prospecting,
Yeah,
right?
that's a
and
really
you're like,
good
oh,
one.
I'll fucking buy some stocks while it's at like 10 cents.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, boom, they get their deal, they fucking get secured. It's up to $10 a share. You're a rich man,
Yeah.
you know? So here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, I'm thinking about getting into it. And I don't know fuck all about it.
You know what? All of you
But
should.
all I need is $5,000.
All of you should. Let's all do it.
Everyone needs to get into it,
If
man.
you don't know what to
It's
do,
one of
just
those things.
chuck $1 in every single.
You're not going to hear it from us. You're not going to hear fucking trading tips from us. But ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that's the fucking situation with the whole stock trading shenanigans that's been going on
Thank
the
you
way.
very much.
It's one of the best things that's ever happened in the fucking past 10 years. I'm so happy that it's happened. Fuck those motherfuckers. I'm not a fucking communist. I'm a capitalist, right? I think that everyone should be able to make their own fucking fair way in this world, right?
Yeah.
With whatever services that they want to offer, but you don't fucking screw over people if their business is doing badly. You don't bet against them. That's fucked up. Fuck all of these cunts. Fuck all of them. They can lose their 69 billion.
You know what's sick? I
Give
didn't
me-
look this up at all,
Yeah.
and I kind of feel like you did a really good job with that. Because
I'm passionate
I kind of
about
feel
it,
like
man,
a
like-
layman right now. That was
Well,
incredible.
look, like I mentioned, I don't fucking trade stocks.
I still don't know anything about stocks after listening to that.
Honestly, neither do I.
Maybe
Neither
he
do
did
I.
a trash job.
I
Write in,
yeah,
let us
probably.
know.
Yeah, let us know. If you're an actual
professional.layman's
stock trader, let me know how I go.
By the way, we might have to get Eddie a little tattoo soon.
Oh, really? Did
Yeah.
we get a
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, what was
Well,
their name?
maybe next.
Okay.
Next episode.
All right.
We'll see how
I
we
wasn't
go.
aware of this. This is ooh. I can't wait to see it. It's great. Please tell me it's going to be on his fucking like
I
elbow
hope
or
so.
something that really hurts. All right, enough of the
Nah.
fucking stock trading shit. I'm happy. Jesse, tell me what makes you happy.
You know what?
Hmm.
I think we should end it on that. To be honest, I'm pretty
okay.
happy with that.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think you did a really good job. And I
What
think,
time are we at?
We
We,
better let our guest free. He's getting a little bit antsy.
All right, too easy.
He's done
No?
an amazing job today, and we're really, really happy. Thank you
Yes.
so much for coming in.
Thank you,
That
Luke.
was great. Thanks
Thank
for
you, Luke.
telling your story.
You've told us what it means to be someone who underground mines.
Thanks
and,
for having me. Yeah, it's awesome to come on such a big show and get some exposure.
Excuse
And,
me, we are rated higher than Michelle Obama's podcast, and honestly, if that doesn't make your dick wet, then I don't know what's going to make your dick
I'll
wet.
give you
man.
5 stars right now.
Thank you. That's all we ask for. Give us 5 stars.
Yep.
And tell me that my voice sounds nice and I don't bang the table.
And write into us.
And
We
right
want to
into
hear
us.
some more shit.
Right into us. Like we mentioned in previous episodes before, our email is professional.layman's@gmail.com. Tell us literally anything you want us to fucking hear. You can make fun of the fact that I have a dumb sounding caveman voice, or that Jesse's crystal clear blue eyes are never going to be revealed to you, and you're very, very jealous of that.
He always talks about me eyes, eh?
I'm in love with them, man. Like every time I look at them, I just get caught in them. And
What a chub.
fucking quarter chub instantly. Professionallayman's@gmail.com. Send us your emails. Tell us about your job as well. I think we should get that on
Yeah.
the agenda as well. Tell us about what the fuck you do. Tell
If
us
you
about
wanna
your
come on the
life
show.
experiences. If you want to fucking email, and here's the thing, if you want to tell us about something hectic,
Even if you have a small experience, we might even be able to suss something out and get you on like a short call and just play it on the show or something like that. Yeah.
And as I mentioned prior, the most professional way of relaying your words and your ancient wisdom is through the ever antiquated method of text to speech. So don't expect to be given any favors with our choice of.
Oh yeah, that's right.
choice
Yeah,
of,
yeah, exactly. If you
text
write
to
in,
speech,
you go to text to speech.
Text to
That's
speech
how it works.
voiceover. And with that, thank you very much, Luke, again for being on the show. You're a fucking legend. You're welcome back anytime you want to come back.
Yep.
We'll talk some fucking shit. Jesse, I think that's the show. See yous, fuckheads.
Catch your boys.
Catch ya.
The professional layman's.